Okay, welcome back. Last time we completed missions 9, 10, and 11. We obtained Ifrit, we met Griffin, and we also defeated Nello Angelo for a second time. I'm going to buy a blue orb and a purple orb, and I'm also going to buy Meteor. But for now, no, I'll buy Magma Drive as well, just because I can. And with that, we can start up Mission 12, Ghost Ship. Go to the deck and head to the captain's cabin. And this is where we get, unfortunately, underwater controls. I'm not going to bother reading them because, one, I already know what they are, and two, I'm not going to be honest, they are very, this is a very short, like, the underwater section is incredibly short, and evidently it wasn't there it is, and evidently it mustn't have been particularly well received, because as they kind of reworked how underwater stuff worked in DMC2, and then just never did it again, ever. Like, DMC has not had an underwater section since DMC2, and I imagine it's probably because no one really liked it. To be fair, it is a bad section of the game. Like, it isn't difficult, it's not difficult, it's not interesting, it's just kinda there. Which is never really something you want to say about something in a Devil May Cry game. Okay, so we also have a red orb fountain here, which is very nice. Because, hey, that is free red orbs, and I do love to get me some free stuff. Honestly, I think that might be the most optimal damage combo I could do. But if I do the long stagger, then instead of the 5th hit, do a high time. Either way, with that, we can now send them up. Nope. With that, we can now jump into the water and get it onto this ship. Okay, so there will be blades kind of just hanging around in here, and for now, I'm going to just try to avoid them. Well, I completely messed that up. I got hit 3 times there. Wow. Anyway, we can grab an untouchable there, which I will probably never be using, but hey, nice to know that it's there. And now we head on up to... I don't know what this would even be. I don't know the parts of the ship, I'm going to be totally honest. I am not a seafaring person. Personally, I'm someone who really doesn't want to be on boats. Either way, with that, we kill both the blades, and that is very good. Also, I think... I might be wrong, I think while they're dying, if you taunt them, you can still get some DT out of it. Now then, I also want to pick up this. The needle gun. The only weapon that can be used underwater. This will be important because we will need the needle gun in the next mission. Now then, we head on out to the main deck. I don't know much about boats, but I can tell you that the main bit's still the deck, I think. Now then, let's quickly hop on up here. Hopefully we can find some red orbs on that. Hopefully we'll grab a whole bunch of red orbs on our way and also not fall off, because, you know, falling off kind of sucks. I don't really want to do that if I can avoid it, but hey, you know, me and basic platforming in this. If this is the first episode you've seen, yes, I have been this bad at anything that involves jumping for the entire game. Don't worry, this isn't anything new. Now, is there anything on this one? No, it must be the next one up. No, it must be the next one up after this. Okay, so we are now on the top of the mast. We can tell because we have the crow's nest here. And now I got to play a fun little game called You Just Sting It Right Off the Top. And I didn't quite make it. Okay. Turns out there was a 3rd mast that I wasn't sure about. Anyway, we now just sting her off of here and we grab a blue orb fragment. So, that is 2 out of 4 required, and I'll quickly make a little bit of a detour just to grab a few more red orbs before we go and make some more progress. Mostly because I quite enjoy making me some progress. I'm a big fan of making progress. And also, gonna be honest, this mission and the next one are both incredibly short. There we go. 10 out of 10. Also, there's just some scythes here. Don't mind those. Can I drop down, game? There we go. It's locked shut. There's something written. I am the ship that carries the wandering souls on the brink of the underworld. Protect the ship and you shall be given the fire of St. Elmo. And now we get attacked by a death scythe. Now, I said in the previous episode that I genuinely thought that the one in Mission 11 was the only one in the game. Turns out, I'd completely forgotten about this one, which is a bit weird because of something I will explain in just a minute. I also need this thing to, you know, stop circling the boat and start being close enough to hit. Because, you know what, I'm just going to air raid. I'm just going to air raid it because I can. And I'll get a good amount of damage out, no doubt. And I don't know how much health this thing has, but as long as it's on the boat when it dies, I should still be able to pick up everything. Okay. There we go, that's it dead. And I dodged like all 5 scythes that it had at the same time. I'm on the descent. Now, I am going to switch over to Ifrit before I interact with the stall. Okay, no conversation this time, you just get right into the fight with Griffin. And basically, I am going to want to have Ebony and Ivory for this, or the grenade launcher. Either way, it's very good to have them here. And I also want to get slightly higher up on the decks. I also remember this boss fight being very annoying, mostly because of that kind of tethered thing. Because I'm gonna be honest, I've played through this game a whole bunch of times, I still don't know how it works. On the plus side though, I can just kind of face tank most of the damage here. I don't really want to if I can avoid it, but still. Also, that just kind of looked cool, so I'm pretty happy that I did it that way. However, as you can see, you can probably see why I had an issue with this on hard mode and DMD. Mostly just because most of the time in this fight you can't really see the boss, which isn't exactly a great thing for your boss fight, because, you know, being able to see what you're fighting is quite an important thing. On the plus side, I can just keep generating a whole bunch of meter, and eventually Griffin will land, there we go, and now I can use Meteor to just do a mountain of damage. Because you may also remember that while you're in DT, you can't get knocked back. Pretty much you don't really have hit stun while you're in that phase. Like, while you're in DT, you basically can't take damage. But you can take damage, you can't get, like, knocked backwards. And now I just shoot a whole bunch, and that is Griffin done. And also, not gonna lie, I knew that I needed to back away there, because when I played this on DMD on PS4 a few months ago, I may or may not have struggled in this boss fight a whole bunch, eventually won, and then died to the lightning, which wasn't exactly ideal. Either way, with that, we now leave, and that is Mission 12 complete. We did that in 7 minutes and 4 seconds, got 823 orbs, and got an A grade. Okay, could have been a little bit better, could have gotten an S, but hey. I think I took too much damage to get an S grade, to be honest. Anyway, on we go to Mission 13, Abyss. Find an exit and escape from the ship. Okay, let's quickly just examine some stuff. I guess I can't, so let's just pick this up. So this is the Staff of Hermes. It's decorated with 2 snakes coiled onto the staff. So now we have a fully underwater level, which is why you need the needle gun. So now we swim out back through here onto the main deck, well, the main kind of interior deck. And now I'm actually... Oh, I have to kill these enemies first. Okay. Game, can I not be stuck there for a second? That would be delightful. So, blades are the only enemy that turn up underwater. I mean, to be fair, this is also the only underwater section in the game. Why am I not hitting them? There we go. I was going to say, why am I not doing damage? I should have been hitting those things. And also, because the game... because there's no other... Because there's no real combat to do underwater besides just shoot the needle gun until the enemies die, yeah, you get style very easily in this mission. And now, I'm also going head on over. I'm going to slowly turn around, because I need to go down into, I believe this is the brig. Gonna be honest, as previously stated, I do not know much about boats. I don't know nautical terms very well. Like, and I feel like I know nautical terms, but I don't know what they are, if that makes sense. Like, I know what the term is, but I don't know exactly what it means. Like, I think, like, I know that there's port and starboard and the stern and the hull, but yeah, boats are not a forte of knowledge of mine. So, with that, we escape from the boat, and with that, that's mission 13 done. It's a very short mission. So we got that done sub 2 minutes, 67 orbs. We get an S grade. Very nice. I mean, I can't really claim to be surprised. That is maybe the shortest mission in the game. Like, that might be shorter than the guiding light one. However, we do now need to go back into the ship. And you know what, while I'm here, because this technically isn't in a mission, this is just like the gap between missions 7 and 8 was, where you can kind of just roam freely for a bit. So, you know what, I'm going to kill these enemies so I can get a few more red orbs. I definitely don't need them, but hey, I'll take them. Where are they? So, unfortunately, blades are the only underwater enemy, and underwater combat in DMC1 kind of sucks. Okay, I mentioned earlier in the game that you're kind of limited for your option for combat in DMC1, but underwater it is actually one-dimensional. Like, you don't have options. It is literally just, hey, did you shoot the needle gun? If not, start shooting the needle gun. So what we need to do now is swim back through the way we came and go back into the captain's cabin. And now we examine the skeleton of the captain and we find another secret mission. I believe this is number 7. Secret mission number 7. Brackets, I think. Water cell. Eliminate all of the enemies and escape from the confinement. This is basically just, hey, this is the last time you do underwater combat in this entire game. He has 8 blades at the same time. Just kill them. Honestly, finding them is probably the hardest part of this. This is an incredibly easy one. You can just kind of just go from side to side and you'll eventually just kill them all. Oh, it's very easy. It's just a bit, it just takes a little while because obviously you are very limited in the amount of, okay, what's the word for it? Like, it takes a little while, but it's incredibly easy. Mostly just because, you can only fire a certain amount of shots at a time with the needle gun. You're limited to, I think, 5 or 6 shots before you have to stop up and have just, like, a cooldown for a second or two. Which, honestly, it's not that big of a deal, but it is a little bit of an inconvenience. Speaking of a little bit of an inconvenience, I think I've injured about 4 of them and haven't killed any of them. Okay, so we are about halfway there. We have 3 out of 8 dead. We have 3 out of 8 dead, and I think they actually kind of spread out. I'm pretty sure these things actually spread out to basically just try to make it so you have to swim as much as possible. Really try to drag out this one section. However, after we do this and leave the boat again, we never have to do a swimming section again in this game. I'm just going to kind of try to spin my way through as opposed to, you know, trying to just circle the camera very slowly. Okay, so there's 1 left, and I see it. So we are just about done with underwater stuff in this game, which is very good because I don't have a whole lot to say about it. There we go. So we got a blue orb fragment, that is enough to fill the blue orb entirely. So with that, we get another full blue orb, meaning our second health bar continues to grow. And with that, we can now just leave the boat. I'm not going to bother fighting the blades again on my way out, because I think I've subjected you all to enough underwater combat in Devil May Cry 1. I wouldn't want to have to do all this again, mostly just because, and it's one of those things where, like, it's definitely not hard, it's just kind of boring, and if there's one thing Devil May Cry should never be, it's boring. Well, if there's one thing a character action game should never be, it's boring in its combat. But with that, we hop on out of the water, and we immediately go right back into the water because I remember there is a blue orb fragment in here, I believe. Somewhere. I'm pretty sure there's one in here. There it is. 10 out of 10, I remembered there was one in here. Oh, hang on, wait. Maybe I should get Air Hike. Air Hike could make something very easy in the next bit. But I think there's a whatchamacallit right next to it, so I can't. Well, not that I can't. I can just get it whenever. Wait, am I on top of the treasure chest here? I think I am. If I am, that's kind of cool. And now we just 1, 2, 3, 4, up, and that's it then. In a few seconds, there we go. You know what, just because I can, let's just shoot this thing to death. This is the DMC2 experience, by the way. If you want to know what DMC2 is like, try just playing everything and only shooting, and that is a large part of the DMC2 experience, because guns are just too good in DMC2. There's treasure here, but there's nothing that can be weapons. But we do find another holy water. But yeah, DMC2 loves having just a whole bunch of, I know, guns in DMC2 are super busted. And now we can head on out to mission number 14, which is mission 14, Deep Darkness and Towering Mountains. Go to the surface and head for the Colosseum. Okay, for my own convenience, I will buy Air Hike. It's basically just a double jump, and that will be exceptionally helpful for me. Mostly just because I like the access to a double jump. Obviously, not exactly the best area for me to choose to use it in here, but here we are. And now, no prizes for guessing what's going to happen here when we have a whole bunch of holes on the floor, and we see this we'll see in just seconds. I shouldn't sting it, there we go. Okay, so, there's something written. The resonating emblem shall undo the seal of the shield. Okay, so we take the emblem shield. A small shield. The emblem has the same shape as that. The emblem has the same shape as that of those sealing the doors of the Colosseum. The skeleton's arm appears to be a lever of some sort. Should I turn the lever? Yes. No prizes for guessing what this does. The trap has been activated. What a surprise, said exactly 0 people ever. To be honest, I'm not that bothered about if I take damage from this, because honestly, it doesn't do all that much. Like, the damage is fairly minimal, and we are out of here. Fantastic. So now I can hop on up here, and we can get on out of here. And now I get to one of my favorite areas, kind of visually in the game. I think this area looks really cool. Also, I just air hike up to there. I'm sure I can. I'm pretty certain I can. There we go. Because that makes doing this a whole lot easier. I say as I immediately do it wrong. But hey, that's on brand if nothing else. And behind here, we find another holy water. Which kind of makes perfect sense, because it is under a waterfall. So look, I'm gonna be totally honest. I'm about to completely waste my time doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway, because, no, I don't want to do that, because if I fall off that, I think I can actually go back down. So now we just hop on across here, but hey, I guess red orbs are a nice little incentive. So we can keep climbing up, and at the top here you find a yellow orb. I don't really need it, I haven't died once in this game yet. And now we stinger off the top, and 10 out of 10 I actually landed on that, so I can now grab this blue orb fragment. Because having more blue orb fragments is always going to be welcome. And honestly, I genuinely thought I'd kind of like shot myself off into the wall there. And now we get out to this cool cliff face, where I know there's enemies. What is it? It's a shadow. Okay, it's two shadows. Okay. On the plus side, oh, I nearly landed on. If I'd landed on it, I would have been able to show the kind of cool thing you can do with shadows. So I guess I'm going to focus on this one. I'll focus on the one that's closer to me. Although that was a good chunk of damage it just did. And they're both down here now. Okay, you know what? This is going a lot worse than I would like it to. Oh, but hey, we'll be okay. Because I'm just going to pop DT and go for all maximum potential damage, I think. Because now that one will just start kind of jumping at me. This is actually totally fine. It'll do this a whole bunch, but it will blow itself up. So one, that's now gone. And it drops enough green orbs that I'm now back to full health. Basically, they will blow themselves up and they'll drop enough green orbs to the point where you basically have more health after getting hit than when you got grabbed. So hey, I ain't gonna complain. If the game wants to throw me a metaphorical bone and just be like, hey, here is a bonus for you, I ain't gonna complain. But yeah, I'm sure that there's probably a much better way to fight like the shadows. But yeah, I'm more than content to kind of fight them in a more slow and peaceful manner. Like, I think I'd rather fight them slow and safe, I say as I get grabbed again. I think this might be a case where I get a pretty bad grade for this mission. To be honest, I don't even remember how long this mission is. However, I do know that there's a couple of other things that I need to find around here. So one of them requires going through this cave, and I think having air hike and air raid will just make this a lot easier for me in general. And to be fair, having air hike will always make things easier, just because of the general utility of a double jump is never going to be a bad thing. Like, it is always better to have a double jump than not have a double jump, you know? And also, I now have enough to almost buy Inferno, and Inferno could be a really nice move to have on effort. Now, I want to just jump down here, grab this blue orb fragment, and I believe we are done with this screen. Fantastic. Because, gonna be honest, I think it looks cool, but I do not like having to fight things on that screen. And we also pay 200 red orbs to open this gate. I believe we're very close to the end of this mission now, actually. Okay, so that gate opens. I love how you don't even get an animation of walking through. And now, this, I believe, is back where we went into the Canyon of Mist. And there's fetishes again. There's another one of those things. And I'm just going to hop on up here, grab this Devil Star real quick. And just because I can, I'm going to switch to the grenade launcher, because I can probably hit like 6 of these things at once now. Oh, and that is always... I imagine the game probably counts that as being stylish, right? And I got hit. 10 out of 10, I'm not doing a great job of recently when it comes to not getting hit. I'm doing a great job of not dying, but I'm doing a terrible job of not getting hit, if that makes sense. Like, I'm taking way more damage than I would ideally like to, but I'm not dying at all, so hey. So hey, I guess that's net positives. Oh, also, the grenade launcher appears to just one-hit kill the basic marionettes. Okay, it seems to one-shot kill the light blue and the green ones. The dark blue ones seem like they can take another. The Bloody Marys seem to take 2 as well, and fetishes seem to take 3. Either way, this is basically the easiest way to get through the entire game, as far as I can tell. Just like, yeah, just keep blasting them, because they can't stop you. And also, if we go over here, I believe... No? Is it over here? There we go. We get a nice little, well, a little red orb cache. But hey, more red orbs are more red orbs, you know? And we use another 100 to open up this door. And with that, we are just about done with this mission, I think. So we just run through here, grab all these, and interact with this door. You have unsealed it. So with that, that is mission 14 complete. We did it in 6 minutes 25 seconds. With 468 orbs, we get a B grade. Honestly, I can't really claim to be surprised. I took a lot longer there than I would have liked. But hey, not going to complain about it still. I haven't had a C or worse. I haven't had a C or a D grade yet, so I'm not going to complain. Okay, so with that, I'm going to... So we have 7 out of 12 secret missions done and 14 story missions done. So I am going... Wait, I have 6 saves now? Oh, yeah, right, I saved once in like mid-episode. Anyway, so I'm going to end off today's episode here. As always, feel free to leave a comment or click any buttons down below if you feel so inclined. And next time we'll be... Well, obviously there'll be another episode of Ape Escape, and then we'll be back with even more DMC as we make our way back to the Colosseum. So, yeah, okay, thanks for watching. Later.